What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. It's time for another ranking video. Today we're going to be ranking the Mario Switch related games. I did this tier list way back in 2022, and now up to 2023 and onwards, we're going to rank them all, whether it be re-releases of some kind. And I'm also going to count Luigi's Mansion, Peach's one game, Yoshi, Wario, Captain Toad, and I'm gonna go ahead and let Donkey Kong slide in too, because how am I going to rank the only Donkey Kong games on Switch being just ports and a remake nobody cares about? Aside from Tropical Freeze ports, at least that was on the Wii U, so that was like a good reason to port it on the Switch, but the other two are sneaks. Anyway, enough negativity for now. Let's just go ahead and rank these games. And yeah, if there's any Mario announcement at the time of this recording, that'd be nice, but who knows. Anyway, let's get this started. Let's start this off with, I guess we're going in order by the game's release, so why not? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is by far one of the this is like the one Switch game almost anyone can own, honestly. Literally, it's like, this game always tops the charts, and it's just still one of the highest selling games, honestly, because it keeps the one game that gets the holiday bundle, because they literally can't choose anything else. Anyway, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still fun. Probably my favorite Mario Kart game now. Double Dash could be debatable, honestly, for the mechanics, but 8 Deluxe has so much content I can really hate. I gotta put this in the S tier, honestly. So yeah. Alright, so that's one. Next up we have is Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This is a game I wasn't sure if I was gonna like due to the structure, and also completely different compared to your regular Mario RPG, which we're gonna talk about way later on. But oh man, Mario Rabbids blew me away, honestly. The mechanics were fun, the characters are great, I love the soundtrack. The areas are kind of 50-50 because it's your typical areas you're looking at, but for what it is, it's still a great time. And also the Donkey Kong Adventure DLC was also great, so that alone, I'd say gets a nice A tier, honestly. Alright, next up we have, I think I'll leave it in A. Alright, next up we have is Super Mario Odyssey. Man, I don't have much else to say. This is one of my favorite Mario games out there. Seems like I can understand the flaws people say about it, but man, I don't know how I would hate Odyssey. The game that gave me Donkey Kong references, exploring the whole different areas, seeing Pauline come back, the ending funny when you don't take it seriously, and yeah, it's honestly such a magical game, honestly, and I can't wait to see what Nintendo's cooking up for the next 3D Mario game. So yeah, S tier easily. Alright, next up, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Yeah, I mean, you already know how I feel about this game. It's one of the best 2D platformers ever made, honestly. Please, Nintendo, make a new Donkey Kong game. Alright, let's put this in the S tier. I'll put this in the arrow above, in the Donkey Kong tier. Why not? I'll just put Tropical Freeze, because it's like my favorite one here, even if it's just a Wii U port. Donkey Country Tropical Freeze. Because, well, we'll get to the other Donkey Kong games in a bit. So yeah, there you go. Mario Tennis Aces. This has got to be one of the weirdest games to talk about, honestly. Because some people either love it, like the concept and the gameplay, and some are just kind of neutral with it because it started like the free updates problem. And while it did, I personally didn't mind it. I'm not too obsessed with it nowadays. I'm not too crazy over Mario Tennis. Oh, this is the one time I was crazy over Mario Tennis, aside from 64 and Power Tennis. Yes, I generally enjoy 64 more. Please kill me all you want. I don't care. But for what it wasn't too bad. And it actually had a nice character roster when you bought the game later. And yeah, that's one of the problems. I'm gonna have to put this in the... I was thinking B or C. I don't even know, to be honest. I'll put it in B, I guess. Like, right in the middle. I wasn't gonna be that harsh. It's just gonna be hard to compete with other amazing games we'll talk about. Next up we have is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. This is one of the most underrated games out there, honestly. A puzzle game featuring Captain Toad based on Super Mario 3D World's Captain Toad levels. Honestly, it's a really cool idea. They should really make a sequel. This is such a great game, honestly. Put it in A tier. Not much else to say. Super Mario Party, the original. Wow, look at this. Is compared to Jamboree's like night and day, basically. Well, yes, I did. Honestly, I'm one of the few who doesn't have a problem with playing this. The lights dim on me for a bit there. I personally didn't mind the game, honestly. Kind of. It brought back the classic format. But even though, again, the boards kind of suck, and unless you're playing Partner Party, because it's kind of based on Star Rush, and I like Star Rush. And the extra modes were kind of neat. The story mode's kind of neat if it wasn't a so-called story, I guess. But overall, Super Mario Party, it wasn't the worst thing ever, but I can see why people will probably place this a little lower. I'd probably put this in... God, does it really go in C? We'll put it in C. It could be debatable between C or B, but yeah. Smash Brothers Ultimate! Oh, I forgot I had Smash on here. Well, I mean, it's hard to really consider Smash as a Mario game. Let's just bring in its own tier, because it's fucking Smash. And what the heck, I'll just put in this. It's fucking Smash Brothers. What else do you want me to say? There you go. Alright. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Okay, I judge this game a lot just how the port is handled in the actual game itself. Because the actual game itself, I generally enjoy it more than New Super Mario Bros. 2. There's your hot take. And it just made the multiplayer unbalanced, basically. Because if one person plays Peachette, you're never going to get a game over and continue. So, there you go. You can't play two Toads, apparently. I don't know why they did that. And that's one of the reasons why I think this port kind of suffers. But it's still New Super Mario Bros. U, and I don't really care too much about it. DS and Wii are better. Anyway, moving on. Next up is Yoshi's Crafted World. This is one of those games I was very interested in playing because it's a new Yoshi game. Because I really love Yoshi's Island Original is one of my all-time favorite games. But Crafted World just kind of disappointed me. I played this with my brother, per se, so I guess I had a little more fun there. Because if I did play this by myself, I probably need to replay this game to maybe look back on it, but I don't think I would enjoy it because it's so boring. The puzzles are kind of... I like the concept, but it's just so boring to play. So, this is like a very... I'd say like C, honestly. Alright, Super Mario Maker 2. Oh, man. I really love Super Mario Maker on the Wii U. The concept of making your own levels and playing levels, while yes, you can run into stupid Kaizo bullshit levels there, I still think Mario Maker is a fun concept, and the sequel just adds a lot. The only thing I can say, I wish they brought back the mystery mushrooms and stuff. Aside that, this is basically better than the original, in my opinion. I know some people miss some mystery mushrooms and say it ruins the game, but like, it's like one minor thing, as much as I like to play Donkey Kong there, so yeah. Anyway, A tier for Super Mario Maker 2. Next up is Luigi's Mansion 3. God, this is one of the greatest games I've ever... One of the greatest looking Switch games I've ever played in my life. And it was just so cool, honestly, to see this game, like, it was confirmed for a fucking, like, you know, direct out of nowhere when Luigi's Mansion 1 was getting a 3DS remake. It was just so real. One of the best games I played. I think the only negative is really the combat, and maybe the combat and the atmosphere, but God, it's still one of my favorite games of all time. So yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue. Next up is Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games, Tokyo 2020. The last Mario Sonic game we'll probably get. And it's alright. It's like the most fine game I ever played. The story mode's kind of neat, though. I'll give it that. But once you beat it, you're never getting back to the game. And not to mention, the online is dead. Literally, when I tried to play online after I finished the story mode, literally nobody was online. That's crazy. It is more dead than any of the other Mario sports games on the Switch. So yeah, but I still give it a B tier because I honestly appreciate Mario and Sonic more, honestly. So yeah, but it's barely comparable to Tennis Aces. Aces has more characters. Well, yeah. Alright, Paper Mario the Origami King. Back when I was a dumb kid. Honestly, I like this game. On its own. When you judge on its own, it's not too bad. But, again, there's just some problems I have with it that's pushing it back down for me. I still think it's a good game, though. I just personally prefer other Mario Party titles, but it's still a good step in the right direction for the series. Great soundtrack. I love the overworld exploring, honestly. That I can agree on. The bosses are funny with office supplies, but I don't know. As funny as they are, they pale in comparison to like really cool boss designs in like the old games. I know it sounds like I'm a hate Mario fan. Please don't judge me. Honestly, I don't really care if people call me that. It's still a high B tier at least though, so I'll give it some respect. Alright. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. This is one of those things I'm really... I'm conflicted where to put this on the ranking. Because on one hand, it's 3 3D Mario games I love. Yes, even 64. on one collection on the Switch. But on the other hand, it was limited time, barely any effort into it, and it hardly feels like an anniversary title. So it's hard for me to say where to rank this, because yeah, you could probably emulate these games anytime, so it's not like it matters, but having these games on the Switch was cool. I don't know where to put this. B tier would be my suggestion, because I don't know where to put this on the... I'm just gonna... You know what? I'll just put... Because, like, it's so hard for me to where to rank this, so I'll just put 3D All-Stars tier. There we go. Because it's kind of tricky for me where to rank this. So I'll just put it right here. There you go. I will not tell you if it's high or low. You figure that out on your own. Okay. Mario 35. This was the limited time thing. I don't know why Nintendo took down. Mario Bros. Endless. This is honestly such a fun idea. I would love to see a version of this with like Super Mario World. That would be awesome, honestly, because I love Super Mario World. I generally would put this in A because it's still Super Mario Bros. 1 and I suck at it. So yeah, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. This is like those things. It's like one of those car things you do in your living room or something. You kind of drive with a Switch. Although coming from the devs, this is like one of their first games they worked with, so I'll give it a little respect for it. But I don't own this, and from what I've seen, it will probably be at the very bottom. Anyway, I'll put this in D tier. I'm sorry. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I love Super Mario 3D World so much. One of my favorite Mario games. And, you know, playing as Rosalina. And Bowser's Fury was a nice little treat, too. Honestly, it's definitely one of the best Wii U ports by far. So this goes in the S tier, without a doubt. Alright, next up we have is Mario Golf Super Rush. Oh boy, why was I so excited for this game? I guess I tend to be too harsh, because it's not the worst thing ever. There's some highlights, like, this story mode's ass, I'm sorry. The extra course is kind of neat, even though they're pretty generic looking. The character roster it's not too bad. There's some cool surprises like King Bob-omb and Charging Chuck and Ninja, but yeah, it's just hard to really say. The budget for this game probably wasn't high, knowing some character models. Looking at you, DK. I feel like I made this joke so many times, but it's generally true. This goes in the D tier, unfortunately. Alright, next up we have is WarioWare Get It Together. I'm shocked this took 5-ish years to get a Wario game on the Switch. But anyway, WarioWare Get It Together. I really love the concept of this one. Controlling characters to play micro games. And honestly, I had a lot of fun with this one. I put a lot of hours into it. Generally one of the better WarioWare titles. I think I put this in A tier. Next up we have is Mario Party Superstars. The return to the form for real this time, with some classic boards. Honestly, this is definitely one of the most fun Mario Party games. While I have Jamboree, I still respect this game for bringing back what we hoped for. And while the economy is broken as hell, I still think this is a really fun game. So honestly, I still put this in the A tier. Mario Strikers Battle League. Oh god. I remember talking about this so heavily back in 2022, back when it was revealed. It was like, Mario Strikers is back! I screamed so loud seeing Rosalina finally part of this series. And then the game came out. I was having fun, and then months later, I moved on. I don't think this is the worst game ever made. I'm sure there's worse out there, because the gameplay is fine, and generally speaking, I probably play Strikers over Golf, because I don't really play Mario Golf. I enjoy Mario Strikers gameplay than Mario Golf gameplay, but there's just nothing to do. I don't know why they don't have a single-player mode. I mean, it kind of exists, but kind of doesn't. And, like, the art style does work, and I'll appreciate... the animations are good, and I like the concept of gear, but, like, it barely makes a noticeable difference anyway. Like, what? I'm still not gonna forget what happened back then. Good lord, that was miserable. So, yeah, if Dongyun's dancing animation was in this game, this would be a massively forgettable game, because that's the only thing carrying it. I'm sorry. D tier. Rather play over Golf Super Rush, but... It's barely comparable. They're both mid. Alright, Mario's Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Now, this was the game I was really looking forward to in 2022. I love Mario Rabbids, and seeing this game like the freaking... you know, it's like original Mario Rabbids, but Galaxy style, this was what I was looking forward to. While it's not technically Galaxy 3, I feel like it was missing some Galaxy stuff. But it was still a really fun game, and I really enjoyed it. The combat seems to be more of a preference thing. I personally enjoyed this game more than Kingdom Battle, honestly. At least the main adventure. DLC is a bit debatable, so there you go. That's my opinion on Mario Rabbids. But it's still a great game, so yeah, A tier. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the 2D Mario game we really needed. So yeah, it's Mario Wonder. I don't know why there's some. I know people have opinions, and this is like any game, and everyone's allowed to have opinions. I don't know how I can hate Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the most creative 2D Mario game we've had in a while. Playing as Daisy, finally. You know, having the Wonder Effect was a great idea for some funny moments. The music, well, I guess I could admit some of them you probably prefer over older games. Or at least some of them may not be the craziest out there. I do love the snow theme, though. I'll give them that. But Super Mario Bros. Wonder is still a really magical game. It's still one of the best mainline Mario games I've played. It's literally the... If Super Mario World didn't exist, it'd be my favorite 2D Mario game. There's your switch up. WarioWare Move It! I probably was a bit too harsh on this game because it's not bad. It's WarioWare Smooth Move sequel. I personally think it's kind of nerfed. I think the Joy-Con gimmick, I mean, I was expecting that to happen, so whatever. But just something lacking compared to, I don't know. I just can't describe it. This is kind of one of the things, but, and also the Wario voice. I mean, it's definitely improved now with Jamboree, but it was not good. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't for Wario's voice, but it's still WarioWare, I'll give it respect, but I don't know. Kind of one of the weaker games, honestly. I put it like the weak B tier. Alright, next up is Super Mario RPG Remake. Oh my god. I still can't believe this is real. This was the thing that made me scream so loud. I couldn't believe this was real. I genuinely love this. This still is my favorite Mario RPG game. I know it's probably controversial now at this point with the recent other Mario RPG remake we'll talk about in a bit. But I still love Super Mario RPG, and they handle it pretty well. Mine's a bit on the easier side because it wasn't that hard to begin with. Aside that, the game is so charming, the characters are great. I just really love this game. I gotta put this in the S tier. Alright, next up we have Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake. This is one of those games you play it, you appreciate what it is, and you move on with your day. A tier. Alright, anyway, jokes aside, I do like Mario vs. Donkey Kong GBA. It's one of my favorite games on there, and the remake is a nice little treat, so I guess there you go. It's just that no one really cares about it, so there you go. I'm one of the 5 who will care about it. Kind of. Base for giving a good DK model, so I'll give them that. Anyway, moving on. Next up we have is Princess Peach Showtime. Peach's first new game in like 2 decades. And this is honestly one of those games I feel like you should judge on your own, rather comparing it to other franchises. Because yeah, it's like an easy-ass game, basically. And it's not for everyone, and I understand people want to place it lower, but I honestly did enjoy my time with it. The amount of different transformations you can get, especially the Persona Peach, I'm going to say that every time. And the soundtrack is pretty good too, honestly. Again, it's short and simple, but it was a nice little time. I'd probably put this in like B, honestly, because it's still a simple game compared to the A's I actually have. Yes, I put Mario vs. Donkey Kong higher. Cry about it. Next up, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remake. Now, here's a remake. Oh my god. It's Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, but better on the Switch, honestly. Like, I say this because I love Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, but I've always preferred 64 because Thousand Year Door, at least the original, had a few issues I had. But Thousand Year Door Remake fixes a lot of things. Much more memorable music, kind of. There's some I prefer in the OG compared to the remake, but still. The hammer move is great. Having some extra stuff to do is great. And, you know, difficulty still remains the same. So honestly, this gets another S tier alone. And of course we have, I guess I'll count this, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So I'm going to judge this rather on the game itself rather than how it was handled, because this is a $60 3DS game with no new content. So there you go. I like Dark Moon, even if it is like my least favorite mainline Luigi's Mansion game, but it's still a nice game, so I still put it above. I'll put it in the A tier. Next up we have is Super Mario Party Jamboree. I mean, what more I need to say? It's pretty much the best Mario Party game on the Switch. Maybe minus the speed. That's kind of my only nitpick I have, but aside that, I really love this game. I'll probably play this a lot over the years. Even if it's just flawed in some ways, like some of the padding, and some boards I'm not a fan of, this is still a really fun Mario Party game, honestly. So, yeah, A tier. Best Mario Party game on the Switch without a doubt. And of course, we have Mario & Luigi Brothership. This is a really hard one for me to rank, right now at least. Because I'm debating to put it in the S tier or the A tier. Because it's, I mean, I'm not going to say much. I mean, it's been a month now at the time of this recording. But yeah, Mario & Luigi Brothership. The pacing may be weird at the beginning. But it just gets better and better as you go. And the music is really nice. And still Mario & Luigi as finest. So, honestly, Yeah, I gotta put it S tier, honestly. Lower S, probably, because I think it's still a really fun Mario Luigi game. I generally have my fun time with it, honestly. I'm not going by relevancy bias either. It's still really, like, because I do prefer Bowser's Story and Suicide Saga. It's still a great game, honestly. You can do some new ideas. Minus a few issues that weirdly changed. And the last one that's technically not out yet, it's Donkey Country Returns HD. I mean, I think y'all know my opinion of this game, because it seems like it's not going to be anything new, unless this ages poorly. Anyway, yeah, there you go. So, you figure out my opinion of Donkey Country Returns. And that's the ranking of every Mario game every related Mario game on the Switch. I will see you guys. What's your favorite? How do you feel about this generation of Mario-related games? Including DK, I guess. Let me know in the comments below. Later, folks.